I'm not sure. Do you think there's a little excitement in the room? You know, given my remarks before about how Ronald Reagan invested in the American spirit more than the government bureaucracy, and that was the key to his success, because all of us wanted America to succeed, not just government bureaucrats. I can't think of anybody better to kick off what we're about to kick off here today. I promised you a fun convention, and you have some of the best speakers, the most optimistic human beings on the globe, and one of them has been working tirelessly, quite frankly, over the last 2 or 3 years. I remember sitting down to him when he said, you know what, Tom, I've been spending a lot of time going around this country. Remember this, Michael? You said, I've been spending a lot of time going around this country making sure everywhere else is okay. It's time for me to concentrate on California. And Michael Reagan has spent, thank you. And Michael Reagan has spent the last 2 years going around supporting Republican groups, bringing his father's message to all of Californians and helping out our Republican Party. You can say a lot of things about Michael Reagan. You really can, but none's better than the keeper of the flame. The eternal optimist, the standard bearer of the Republican Party name in California for Reagan, the one and only Michael Reagan.
Thank you. Oh, this is great. It's great to be here, great to be with all of you behind me and in front of me and be able to speak here in California. I go, as Tom was saying, I go around the country so often, speak to different political groups and what have you. It's good to really be home in the state that I was born in. I used to tell people that they asked me if I was born in California. I said, yes, I didn't have to sue my parents to move here. In fact, I was lucky they didn't meet till they got here, and I got to come along with the whole ride. So it is an honor and a privilege for me to be here, and just brings back a lot of great memories. You know, a lot of people have asked me over the course of the last few months, why'd you get involved in the campaign? Why'd you endorse? Your father never really endorsed in a primary. He always waited till the party, you know, chose their nominee. And I said, because I don't think I had time to wait this time. I think we need to make decisions now. And so I said, I'm not going to stay back in the background and then jump on board later on and say, wow, I was there kind of at the beginning. I worry about this country we live in today when I think of my father and think about how many of us would like to have Ronald Reagan back, and I think to myself, hey, I think to myself, yes, I'd love to have my father back too, but I think what we're all looking for is leadership, because we've lacked leadership in this country and this state, to be honest with you, for too long a period of time. And so when I was making that decision, I said, who best really fits my father? Who best fits and really can move this country forward? And I thought about my dad's speech in 1976. I thought about that night that he lost, and it was a hard night for all of us. But my father ended up giving one of the greatest speeches he's ever given. He wasn't expecting to speak, but when he came down to the podium to address a nation and a convention, he talked about this party being a party of bold colors, not pale pastels. And we need to get back to being bold colors again and getting away from pale pastels. Let's face it, Barack Obama became President of the United States of America because we didn't do our job. We need to do our job. We need to tell America and this state that, in fact, we're ready for leadership again. My father also talked about something else, about being able to write a letter, being asked to write a letter to be put into a time capsule that would be opened on the 300th anniversary of this nation. And he said, what a daunting task to write a letter into a time capsule to a people who would know everything about us, but we knew nothing of them. He says, what do I write about? Do I write about nuclear proliferation knowing that they will know whether we use those weapons or not? Or do I write about freedom? The great freedoms we have in this nation, knowing that if we do not make the right decisions today, those who live on the 300th anniversary of this nation may very well not enjoy the freedom to open up the time capsule I've written a letter into. That is what this election is all about, and that's why I've gotten involved. Because I want to get our freedoms back. And the one person I know who really has bold ideas and wants to make bold changes, because it's not enough to look at Washington and manage Washington. We need to change Washington, D.C. And the one person I saw that really could in fact do that was my friend, Newt Gingrich. Newt Gingrich changed Washington with bold ideas back in the 1990s. He gave us the first majority in 40 years. He balanced a budget, working with a Democrat president. He changed the issue on welfare. He has done so much for this party. And we have got to stop the nitpicking and cherry picking that we are doing of our candidates, because if we're not together in November, Barack Obama will be the President of the United States for 4 more years. It is time to take our country back. Are you tired of losing freedoms every day? Yes. Are you tired of losing freedoms every week? Yes. Are you tired of losing freedoms every month? Yes. Then it's time to take our country back, our state back, and make it again that shining city on a hill that once shined so strong and bright when Ronald Reagan was president. And we can do that by taking back our country and making Newt Gingrich the next president of the United States.